Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Jake. Behind me here is White Lightning, my 1979 C10 step side square body, whatever you want to call it. I actually bought this in, I think, June of last year, so I've had it about almost a year. I bought it only for the body, realistically, if I'm going to be honest. I bought this for a 1987 K10 that I have that the body was just trash on. It was a heater cab. I think it had rust all over the fenders. Somebody cut the fenders that fit 40s. So I saw this on Marketplace for about $2,500. The guy said it was originally an LS. It was twin turboed. I didn't have, the motor anymore, didn't have the tranny. I went ahead and picked this up, got it home, got it off the trailer, starting to look at what I needed to do to take this thing apart to put it on my other frame that I had, or just, it was pretty much a frame. But I couldn't do it, guys. I looked at this, my wife fell in love with it, I fell in love with it, my daughter fell in love with it. It was just too nice to tear up. I can't just let things, be cut up like that if they're too nice. I've done it to donor builds all the time. I'll get a parts car and I look at it and I'm like, crap, I can't do it. Got to find another parts car that's worse. There's potential there, and I couldn't kill it. And I think you'll find out why when I show you this truck is just too clean to kill. So it's pretty clean. It's not like show ready perfect, that's for sure, but depending on your car shows, I'll bring things to the car show like this. I don't care. It's a driver, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that fixes it up to perfect and then never drives it. I never understood that. Okay, so some of the cool features that have already been done on it are this hood scoop. It grew on me. At first, I'm like, I'm used to the 80s, hood scoop that, I forgot, a cowl hood. I like the cowl hoods. But this one, it kind of grew on me. It's different. You don't typically see that on a lot of C10s, or really any truck, to be honest. So I thought it was kind of like a muscle car looking type hood, and I just kind of fell in love with it, and I don't think I can actually get rid of it now. It's actually a real scoop. There is a hole in the hood, so it does serve a purpose. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. I've had mixed reviews, but I really don't care what people think, and it's my truck, so I'm gonna keep it. Next feature that I really like about this truck is this grill. I think they call this a phantom grill, or a billet style grill. I think it's a phantom when it covers the headlights, and that's on the other square body trucks like the 81 through 87. So it's kind of different. You could definitely tell that it's had some usage, especially because the release for these hoods is right in here, so it's kind of a pain to get to. But this actually doesn't have a release on it at all. In fact, the hood's not even bolted down. Next, it actually has LED headlights with a halo, so these actually glow red. I don't have a battery or any wires hooked up to this right now, but when I did, this actually glows red, and it's actually a halo style headlight with an LED, so I think that's kind of cool. I'm probably going to do LED turn signals. I think they make a turn signal here. I don't know. Yeah, these are definitely not LEDs. They're just regular old halogen. So I actually do have a new front bumper for this. It's off an 80, I think 7 Chevy C10 that was 2-wheel drive that I had. But it has that black plastic crap, that goes on the front of there. So I'm going to rip that off, see if I can get away with using that. I think they're all the same bumpers. I've never actually had anything older than an 80, or actually 81. All of the trucks, square bodies I've had have been 81 through 87. This is a 79, so 74 to 80. I think 80 was kind of its own special year with some of the things it had, but they had different parts. I know the fenders were different, the hoods I think were a little bit different, but the rest cab back is all the same. But it's got some dents. I think the guy that had it before me just kind of put it out in his yard and kind of ran into it with other stuff like lawnmowers and tractors and whatnot. And you can tell there's definitely some runs in the paint, whoever painted it. It looks like it was painted in a garage. If you get up really close to it, there's quite a few dents in the door. But man, I'm telling you, there is not a speck of rust on this thing. Somebody spent a lot of time, trying to make sure this thing didn't have any rust. The step sides are in really good condition. Has a tailgate. Sorry, I got a lot of crap in the back here. But the wood needs replaced. It's just like regular 2x6s or something back here. It did have a fuel cell, so it has a cutout for a fuel cell. And he had his battery back here as well. Supposedly he was drag racing this thing, so. I'm definitely going to go with LEDs back here. I just love LEDs. I think they look a lot better. But I like the original look. You know, I don't want that Euro style taillight. I want just the regular factory looking light, but LEDs. This was kind of lazy. I mean, it's been wired up, but not heat shrinked. And it needs like a loom or something. Couple of local stickers here. According to the guy, the truck's name was White Trash. So, not what I'm going to call it, but to each their own. ICT billet, you know, I'm sure a lot of guys that do LS swaps know about ICT billet. They're actually here in Wichita. That's what ICT stands for, is Wichita. So, get a lot of parts through them. And then 2M Motorsports. I actually work right next to them at a transmission shop, and they're a pretty good machine shop. But the cab corner is in really good shape. You're gonna need some new lock cylinders, but that's okay. But the cab corners, the rockers, it's been C-notched on the frame. The welds aren't great, but not terrible either. But I'm probably gonna redo them. I actually put these wheels and tires on there. It just had some like 90s truck wheels on there. You know, the 5 spokes. And they did not look very good. I don't know if I'll probably just fill these in. I don't really want an emblem on here. I kind of like the white, just a white solid look. And luckily, you know, the hood has not been crinkled yet. I'll be sure to get those bars for the hood when I put the... It doesn't even have hood hinges on right now. They're in the bed of the truck. So... Typical square body door, you know. Manual windows. Manual locks. Definitely needs some attention on the seat. I know it looks a lot higher than typically what you would see on these trucks. And the reason being for that is he's got like a racing bracket down here that he had like racing seats in here that were super uncomfortable. So this was actually out of a different truck. I think I have an 83 K10 I had just kind of laying around, but I don't know. I'll probably go with a leather one or something. I like the bench seats. Some people don't. I do. I think they fit really nice in here. So it has a non-tilt column too. I have another column I'm going to put in here. And for some reason, the shifter is broke off here. I don't know the reason for that. He didn't have an explanation for that. I don't see, there's no floor shifter. So I don't know. There's no cut in the cut in the floor for that. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. Somebody's actually put some little kick panel speakers down there. I think that's kind of cool on both sides. So I'll probably go with some different speakers. Who knows if those even work. It has the original style radio in here. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with their audio, but I'm going to go with the, you know, the style that looks like this, but it's also Bluetooth enabled, and they have like, you know, aux cord, stuff like that. But it looks like, you know, the original radio, and I think that's pretty cool. You know, they actually have something like that, because these don't sound very great at all. No headliner. I don't know if these trucks ever came with a headliner, or if they did or not, but like I said, I've never had an 80 through a 74. Only had the 80 through 81. They did have a headliner in those trucks. So Definitely gonna need a windshield, like every square body truck I've ever owned. When I buy them, for some reason, they need a windshield. So definitely gonna go that route. It has had window tint put on there. Not so great, but it is on there. I'll probably have to retint that or have it retinted. I've never really messed with tint, but it's always a first time for everything. I don't know if I'm gonna go with fuel tank, like these saddle tanks, or if I'm going to go with a fuel cell. I have two 87 tanks, so I don't know. Those are great for the LS swap because they have a baffle in there because those were fuel injected instead of carbureted. So I may just go ahead and use those on this. I don't know yet. I don't know if the fleet side tanks will fit in a step side. So let me know in the comments if they do. Otherwise, I'm going to find out, just by trial and error. Also going to have to do something with the back bumper here because they got a block of wood here. I guess that works. He was definitely living by the name White Trash, that's for sure. The shock bolts aren't even, I just realized that the shock bolts aren't even all the way in there. There's no gear in that rear diff. I did not know that when I bought it. And I started putting it on the trailer and one of these wheels tried to slide out. Like, holy crap. So there's nothing holding those axles in there. So I think I'm just going to go with just a regular old. It has a 10 bolt in there right now. I'm probably going to go a 12 bolt. So I'm probably just going to replace the whole carrier and everything with just a stock 12 bolt. Hopefully posi, but if not, I'll probably find some way to, make it a posi. I'm not going to weld it or anything like that. I'll probably just find a posi. So it has no fender wells, as you can see. Because this thing was turboed, he didn't have a lot of room, so. But the firewall is pretty clean. Somebody's deleted the heater box and AC, so it's got none of that. So I do luckily have one of the heater boxes, and it's an AC. So I believe it was an AC cap at one time. I got my work cut out. I got my work cut out for me, that's for sure. But I'm not going to shy away from a project. Like I said, I really just bought this for the body. And now I'm going to rebuild it. So that's always fun when you fall in love with something unintentionally. So it has a nice lowering springs on there. I think it just had regular old yellow monomatic shocks, the cheapest ones you can buy. So I'll probably go with some Bilsteins or something better. I don't know yet. But really, I'm telling you, man, it is clean down here. Super clean. Continuously be posting videos every step of the way along the progress. Hopefully I need to find either a 5.3, a 4.8, or a 6.0. I'm leaning more toward the 5.3, it's more plentiful. The 6.0 is a little more expensive, and I don't know if I need that right now. I'm just kind of doing a budget LS swap. I think I'll probably go the Holley Terminator route, instead of dealing with all stock wiring and stuff like that. It's all plug and play, and then really it's probably the same cost as having it programmed and everything else. So it's either going to be that or a big block. Like I said earlier, I have access to a 396 or a 427. I don't know. I haven't taken it apart yet. It could either be either or. Just by looking at it with the naked eye, you can't really tell until I pull the heads off. So we'll find out what it really is. But it's either going to be big block or LS. I like the idea of fuel injection. I like, possibly getting 20 miles per gallon, and have a big old hog cam in there. I'll have to deal with carburation and everything else like that, especially with gas prices the way they are. This ain't going to be a daily driver by any means, just like, something me and my wife to take out on date nights and, pull up stoplights and stomp on other little Hondas or, other trucks or whatever. Just kind of cruise around in it, because it is a pretty cool truck. So, I don't know. We'll see what I go with.